Hey Vervegirls, I'm Hayley Sales, and I'm going to play you a piece of my song More Than You Know. If you want to check out more on what I'm doing, you can go to my website, which is just hayleysales.com. Alright, here we go. Kicking the rain, watching the puddles grow. I plod through the park, know where I want to go. Hundreds of leaves follow my every step, trying their best to get me to liven up. More than you know, more than you'll ever know. I think about you more than you'll ever know.
Girls, it's Alexia here, and I'm super excited. We're here with singer-songwriter Hayley Sales. Hi. Yeah, so let's get started. So you're in Toronto. Are you you're promoting your new album?
Yeah.
And are you gonna be at Indigo later?
Yeah, a couple different Indigo locations for the next couple days.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just little in-store performances.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. I was just wondering, I was researching and saw that you said that you grew up with extreme hippies. I don't know if that's like safe to say.
Yeah, no, it's safe to
Yeah,
say.
okay. How has that, and also just like growing up in a really musical household, how has that influenced your music?
I think it's really influenced, I mean, music for me is very much me. So like it's influenced me in that it always kind of, I couldn't get set in a certain way. I always break down my boundaries, like whether it was, you know, my ideas about how the world works or about myself. Like I was always pushed to kind of explore.
Yeah.
So I think that really, you know, that comes through in music and in the way I go about my life, and in the fact that I kept like doing what I loved instead of being like, oh, I can't do it, I need to go to school for, you know, accounting or something. I did. My parents always encouraged me and were like, yeah, do it, you know, we love the arts. And
Yeah.
so it's very supportive.
That's awesome. Would you have any advice to people who, like, are readers who may want to be pursuing, like, something that's, like, more of the road less traveled,
Yeah.
but their parents might not be supporting them as much? Or?
Yeah, you know, I think it's just really important to do what you love. Like, at a certain point it's your life, and I know that sounds kind of like, you know, forget the parents, but,
Yeah.
but it's really true that, you know, it's very easy maybe to go to school and do that, but if that's not what you're called to do or what you want to do, I'd say just you have to focus a lot. Like you can't just be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to do this, you know, take my time. You really have to work at it. It takes a lot of effort, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Follow the street all the way to its end, and turn back around, recollecting all of my steps. Friends pass me by, toss me smiles and waves. I play in the game, but just don't know how to play. More than you know, more than you'll ever know. I think about you more than you'll ever know.
I was thinking, I'm like, when was the first time you either heard your song on a radio or saw your CD in a store, and like, how did it feel?
Well, the first time I heard it on the radio was the first album, and I was actually in Halifax. And we were driving from a show back to an interview on, I think, Global or something. And the radio's turned down really, really low. And I'm sitting in the back, and suddenly I'm just, you know, that sounds oddly familiar. And I'm like, turn that up. And it was my song, and it was so weird.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't even sound like you. It's like you totally detach from it. Oh, yeah, that's something that sounds familiar, but you don't even think it's you. And then, yeah, I didn't know the album came out a day early. And so I went to Chapters to buy a book, and there's a big like setup with my name on it, and I was so excited I bought a CD. It's like, yay! Like, I'm up in Chapters. This is so exciting.
What are you reading right now?
Well, I'm reading A Room with a View by Ian Forster. It's like an old love story. It's pretty nice.
Just this morning, I was looking on the iTunes, and I noticed a lot of people were saying like this is so refreshing, and I was wondering why do you think people would say that, like in music today?
I think, well, I hope that my music's honest and really authentic. Like that, I've really strived to keep it that way if possible. Like we recorded the whole thing on my blueberry farm, and it was just a very organic process. Like I wanted it to be real, and I think a lot of music today, and especially female music, is so doctored, and it's turned into like candy music that's easy hit, like put it on the radio. And I don't think that that's necessarily the music that really, turns us on, really. Like when it comes down to it, the music I love is music that I feel is real, and I can be like, oh, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Or it's happy, like, I don't know, I guess any of those things would be why.
And I was listening to another one of your songs from your other album, Sunseed, and Keep On Driving. Keep Driving.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, like, where did that come from? Like, what's your biggest challenge, and how did you overcome it?
Just biggest challenge?
Or like a challenge?
Definitely. I think not getting discouraged has been the biggest challenge. Like, because so many people kind of try and bring you down, or like say it's going to be hard or whatever. And I think definitely being able to be like, no, okay, maybe I'm not the best, but I'm going to stick with it because I love it. And obviously there's something hopefully special about me.
Yeah.
So that, and then like I had a bit of an eating problem when I was younger. Well, I moved to LA to act, and they were like, you gotta lose weight. So overcoming that was definitely took some time, but I did work through it, which is really good. Yeah.
I've taken out the map and cut it up in pieces, taped it back together, no space between us. Brightly colored pencils, I jotted in some